Cambridge Internationalist Level Sociology, The Family. New Right Perspective on Family Diversity, Horwitz 2005. The New Right approaches argue that family and relationship diversity is dysfunctional and undesirable. The heterosexual traditional nuclear family is seen as more desirable than other family structures because it provides social, economic, and psychological stability, family continuity, and successful primary socialization. Horwitz 2005 argues that within the traditional family, children and adults learns moral values that they into wider social relationships. Traditional nuclear families are seen as a vital source of both individual happiness and social stability, and moral code involves caring for family members, taking responsibility for both their behavior and their children, unconditional economic cooperation, development of stable, successful interpersonal relationships. Luride Perspective on Family Diversity, Horwitz 2005. Preference for heterosexual traditional nuclear family. Example: the Luride perspective, as argued by Horwitz 2005, asserts that the heterosexual traditional nuclear family is more desirable than other family structures. For instance, a family consisting of a married heterosexual couple with children is seen as the ideal, embodying social, economic, and psychological stability. Functions of the traditional nuclear family. Example: according to Horwitz, the traditional nuclear family provides social, economic, and psychological stability. An example could be the belief that children raised in a stable traditional family structure are more likely to develop emotionally and psychologically well, leading to better outcomes in education and social relationships. Role in family continuity. Example: the New Right perspective views the traditional nuclear family as essential for family continuity. An example might be the idea that the intergenerational transmission of values and traditions is most effective within a stable traditional family structure, ensuring the preservation of cultural and moral values across generations. Primary socialization and moral values. Example: Horwitz argues that within the traditional family, children and adults learn moral values that extended into wider social relationships. For example, a child growing up in a traditional family might learn about concepts such as responsibility, honesty, and respect, which are then applied in their interactions with peers and broader community. Sources of individual happiness and social stability. Example: traditional nuclear families are seen as a vital source of both individual happiness and social stability. For instance, proponents of the New Right perspective might argue that the stability and support provided by a traditional family contribute to the well-being of both individuals and society as a whole. Moral core of traditional nuclear families. Example: the moral core of traditional nuclear families involves caring for family members, taking responsibility for one's behavior and their children, unconditional economic cooperation, and the development of stable, successful interpersonal relationships. An example could be the expectation that parents in a traditional family are responsible for the well-being of their children, providing emotional and financial support to ensure their success and happiness. Implications and critiques. The New Right perspective's emphasis on the traditional nuclear family as the ideal has been criticized for overlooking the diversity of family structures and failing to account for the well-being of individuals in non-traditional families. Critics argue that the New Right perspective tends to ignore the fact that families differ in terms of cultural backgrounds, values, and needs, and that alternative family structures can also provide stable and nurturing environments. Policies influenced by the New Right perspective may focus on promoting and preserving the traditional nuclear family, potentially overlooking the needs and realities of diverse family structures. In summary, the New Right perspective as presented by Horwitz 2005 asserts the desirability of the traditional nuclear family for its perceived contributions to individual happiness, social stability, and the transmission of moral values across generations.